chicken quesadillas today, baby. Let's go. We're gonna start off with that cilantro base. Now remember, it got MSG in it. But anyway, salt, pepper, red chili flake or pepper flakes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Paprika. I'll explain why instead of using real peppers later on. Garlic powder, of course, gotta have garlic powder. Chicken, whatever chicken you want, breast, thighs, don't matter. Same thing with the tomato. I got these little joints, but feel free. Anyway, the onion. So, same thing with cheese too. I'm using mozzarella, that's just me. But you do need to use flour tortillas and coriander powder. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it. Let's get to prepping. Now, I'm not gonna waste everyone's time, tell y'all how to cut an onion, but sharp knife is most important. Did you know a dull knife is the most dangerous in the kitchen? Now, I'm sure everybody's like, oh, but if it's not dull, why is it dangerous? Because you're putting extra pressure. And we don't want extra pressure. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? We got to be safe. So yeah, sharp knife, make that claw shape like I just did. And you're going to cut along your knuckle. Please do not cut it like in the little, I call it the bridge, like the C's. That's going to be really safe for an onion because it's a really big object. I'm going to get into the tomatoes later, but for smaller things, it's okay to use that kind of C bridge shape. For onion, safety first, I like to use the claw. And an onion is an onion. I mean, they got the yellow ones, I think Spanish ones and white ones, but I don't care. I just pulled up the first onion that I saw at the grocery store. So cut your onion, basically. Okay, claw shape. Remember, up and down, dices. Yeah, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. I like those dices. And not too big, not too small. So the reason why is because if you make them too small, they're just going to caramelize and kind of disintegrate and puree when you're cooking it. And if you make them too big, it's gonna feel weird when you bite your quesadilla, or maybe that's what you want. It's really up to you. This is like the neutral way, not too big, not too small. And that's exactly what we want. Those are looking good. Same thing with the other half. Now, I'm using the whole onion because I like it balanced. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just gonna want half the onion, and that's perfectly fine. It's really up to you. This is what I like to do because sometimes I feel like, when you're biting down in the quesadilla, you taste too much tomato, or you taste too much of the tortilla, or you taste too much of the onion. So balance is key. No Libra stuff, just balance. And of course, no offense to my Libra people out there. Anyway, so we're gonna cut this onion the same way. All right, now the long way first. I'm gonna get that kind of vertical, vertical. That looks like vertical strips. Turn it 90 degrees. Boom, more dices. Well, shoot, these are even kind of smaller than the first ones. Well, excuse me. Okay. Well, anyway, more dices. And same thing. Boom. Yep. Garbage pile. That's looking good. Shoot, that concludes the onion. I mean, look, it's pretty much straightforward. If you're gonna use a shallot, I'm not really too fond of shallots. They're too expensive for me, and they're kind of small. But hey, same thing. You're gonna slice it long, turn it 90 degrees, then you're gonna get that dice. But with your shallot, it's gonna be finer dices. Okay, let's make a little pile here for the cherry tomatoes. So you don't have to get all these colors like I got. I just got them because I think they look nice. When you cutting up your quesadilla, you see all these little bits of color. The flavor is about the same. I know that some people think that the green ones taste different, but I think they all taste the same. Maybe somebody could in the comments just tell me, do you think that they taste the same? But I don't know. But look at that color though. See, that's gonna look all nice not only when you're cooking it, but when you're serving it. It's gonna look like you got mad ingredients and whatnot, but really it's just the cilantro base, the onions that we just cut, and all these tomatoes, these pretty tomatoes. So I'm just gonna cut them up. I'm not really gonna explain it, but however you want to cut them. And the reason why we want to cut them is because if you were to put these whole tomatoes in the pan, they're going to be very chunky. They're not going to break down as easily if you cut them. When you cut them, you're exposing that skin. You see that skin there? That skin is good for protection, but it's not good for breaking it down. And we don't want to add sugar to break it down. We want to keep this kind of thinner voice, you know what I'm saying? So please don't leave them whole. You're just going to have a bad day. Anyway, cut them. Doesn't matter which way, just cut them open. Like, even if you crush them, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're in the pan and if you leave them whole by mistake, you're like, oh, I forgot, just crush them. Because we want to expose that skin. If you leave the skin on, you're going to basically end up with a quesadilla that's just full of chunky tomatoes without a tomato puree. That's kind of what we want them to do. We want them to break down. We want the sauce to be balanced, and we want them to break apart and mix. It's gonna help your sauce thicken up too when these tomatoes burst and explode in the pan, in a good way, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, and honestly, like, if you're one of those people who likes the vegetables to be fresh and uncooked, you can totally leave these uncooked. Just remember, the smaller you cut them, your mix is going to distribute more evenly. When your tomatoes are too chunky, your mix won't spread when you fold up your quesadilla. But we'll get to that part later on in the video. But look how pretty those tomatoes are looking. This is probably what people must feel like when they like see the leaves changing in fall. Like, look how pretty them leaves look. Those colors look really nice. Oh yeah, so paprika, baby. I'm not using bell pepper, and paprika is basically bell pepper, so I'm lazy. What do you want me to do? Anyway, cooking time. So heat up your pan like I didn't do. Oops. Cut edit. Alright, so heat up your pan, add your oil. I'm using olive oil, but that's just my preference. You could use avocado oil too. I don't like to use the vegetable oils though. But again, I'm not going to tell you what oil to use. That's your choice. Anyway, I'm using a metal spoon, and I want to get up in this thing, like scrape it, move it around. If you were to use a wooden spoon, like, you wouldn't get that leverage, you know, something that's like really thin to get up in there, because we're going to be doing that a lot. We got to move things around back and forth, and things are going to be sticking, but we want that though, because we want that color. Now I'm just going to be stirring at first, but as it cooks more, it's going to get thicker, and when things get thicker, it's less water. When there's less water, it's going to burn. So be careful when you're cooking, not too high of a heat. Now I'm going to add my seasonings up front now, because I'll be forgetting, like, I'll be cooking and then, put everything down, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't have the seasoning. So, and I don't want to hear anyone say, but if you're cooking, how can you forget the seasoning? They be forgetting salt on MasterChef, be like, come on, fam. Like, I moved here from Boston to be here on MasterChef, and they be forgetting, like, pepper. Fam, come on, yo. So yeah, I'll be putting everything first, and the order doesn't matter. You're gonna put your paprika first, and now is the time to mess up, because look at it, everything is dry. The vegetables haven't broken down yet. Shoot, you could have put your base first if that's what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit that from the back. Yeah, you could have put that first. You could have put the cilantro base in the middle. Like, it really doesn't matter the order. Just put it up in there, because you can mess up now. Everything's not broken down yet. I could scoop all of this out if I wanted to and start over. And you can literally take away half, you know what I'm saying, add peppers. If you wanted to add peppers now, like, oh, I changed my mind, let me add some peppers. But one thing you want to don't do is don't add the garlic right now. That will burn. Your garlic will burn, and you'll be upset with me, and that's just a bad time. We'll save that for later. You'll see. So now we're at the point of no return, and I'm going to keep stirring here, but you see everything's starting to really cook down now. Here is your in. You're all in. You're committed. No turning back now. You got to just keep stirring. Make sure that doesn't burn or stick, and you should be good to go. I got my heat on. Let me see what my heat is. Medium. I got it on medium. And if you wanted to be safe and leave it on low, you can do that too. Matter of fact, let me lower that down, because gotta be safe, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay. It's really okay. So we're gonna let that simmer, and we're gonna work on our chicken. Now, I don't want people to make fun of me saying, why are you using white meat? And I don't want those people to make fun of me and saying, why are you using the tenderloins? Yo, this is the most tender part of the chicken. I know it may not be the most flavorful, but for me, it's about the texture. And plus, it's a quesadilla. It's not fried chicken. Even though these tenderloins go hard, but nah. I like the texture, and it's very easy to control the texture when you're in the pan. Same thing with the chicken thigh. It's hard to overcook the chicken thigh. I think with a tenderloin, it's hard to make a tenderloin tough and rubbery and dry, because we hate rubbery and dry chicken. Okay, so hear me out. Hope you did. That's why it was the tenderloin. Now I'm gonna cut it up. I don't want to cut it finely. I'm not gonna puree this thing. I would say, let's see, a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. So these chunks would have been cool if you're like making like a rice bowl. That's okay, but we're gonna make it a little finer. See that? Nah, too thick. Yep, there we go. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Now this whole time, our vegetables have been stewing and breaking down. Look at that. It's not sticking. Bald spot. We want that bald spot in the pan, but look at our sauce though. It's gotten all thick. Those tomatoes have done their thing. That's exactly why we cut them. We don't want to leave them whole. And I'm going to add some oil in, by the way, because it's about to get seriously hot very soon. But look at the colors though. Look at the colors. We worked so hard to get this sauce, not a puree, but an assortment of colors. Now the tomatoes are keeping their shape, but all the goodness has run out, and that goodness is making for a thicker filling. That's what we want. We want it to be thick. We want it to be vibrant. We want it to taste fresh. We don't want it to taste like it came out of a can. And we don't want to feel like we're having some juice when we bite into the quesadilla. We want it to hold its shape. And I think we did that really well. Now I'm just going to stir and stir and stir it up. Garlic time, baby. Let's go. You already know. We're adding that now because it's not going to burn if you put it in right now. It's going to mix in well. Garlic time. You already know. Mix that in. Keep stirring. Don't stop stirring. That's really important. Like, if you stop for like a couple of seconds, that's okay. But like, if you were to go use the bathroom and come back, your pan will be kind of dark. Your house will be smoking. Yeah, it's just gonna be a bad day. Look at that, bald spots all day. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. Damn. So we're pretty much done with this kind of first phase. Now these vegetables are looking really good. That's kind of what you want. This texture right here. You can recognize an onion, recognize a tomato, but it's all stuck and harmonious. So we're gonna take it all out. You know what I'm saying? Take it all out, and you gotta move quickly now because there's no water, there's no steam. That pan's gonna get really hot. Add your chicken in, just put it in. But you see that bottom, how it's kind of dark? We want that. We want that fond. That's gonna be your flavor. Now, our vegetables are out now, so we want that flavor to transfer in the chicken. And when you add your chicken, your temperature's gonna go down, so you're not gonna burn anything. I don't want you to think that your pan is burned. Now, I'm gonna add some oil just to get it all slippery and easier to move around, but we want that flavor. The bottom of this pan is filled with so much flavor. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, if you were to wash this out or get rid of that dark bottom, your quesadilla will be lacking. And that's what we don't want. We want this to be, again, healthy, but delicious. And I want everything to be harmonious. Everything needs to work together. And I'm gonna keep stirring. Stir, stir, stir. The reason I'm doing this is because when you cut chicken this small, it's gonna color at the same time cook. If it's too big, it's gonna color, it's not gonna cook, and vice versa. Now at this point, it's starting to get a little too dark. I'm gonna add some water. You can add some alcohol if you wanted. That's just not my preference, so I'm gonna add water. Now the water just gonna separate that fond at the bottom. It's gonna break it apart, and look at that. Immediately, bald spot again. So we went from fresh hairline to completely receding hairline in a second. We want them bald spots, yo. But look at that. It's looking good. All the flavors in the chicken now. All that flavor just transferred in. And now that we got all that flavor from the bottom out, we're gonna put our vegetables back in. That's it. We're at the finish line now. We're at the last quarter. We're gonna incorporate it, mix it. I'm still gonna stir, but see, look at the bottom. Look at the bottom, clear, and all that flavor is evenly distributed. That's what we want. Oh man, this is smelling good. Now I'm just gonna add a little more seasoning, but at this point, you're done. You've committed and you succeeded. Look at that. That's looking really good. You saw that bottom, right? Look at that. Oh man, look at that texture. That's exactly what we want. Delicious. Look at them tomatoes, just all colorful and pretty. See, this is exactly why I wanted those tomatoes. It just looks pretty. It looks great. Now we're gonna take it all out. We're done with the filling. The hardest part is done. Now assembly time, baby. So disclaimer, I just bought these tortillas, so they're gonna be very flexible. If you have ones that are a little stale, just pop them like in the microwave for like a couple of seconds. Not only is that gonna make them more flexible, that's gonna help your cheese melt easier. But I'm just gonna go straight up a small layer of cheese. You don't wanna put too much on one side, because then one side is gonna stick and the other won't. So your quesadillas would open. We don't want these things to open. We want them to stay shut and tight. So your filling should still be hot or warm. We're gonna add it right on top of it. Oh man, I swear, yo. Let's take that beautiful filling, put it right on the cheese, and immediately it's gonna start melting that cheese. It's gonna make it stick more. Oh man, yo, I swear, yo, this is smelling so good. I almost want to eat it now, but you know what? Nah, I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna be strong. I gotta do this, because when you put this in the pan with some oil, and you get that color and you taste it and you got that cheese pull, it's gonna be crazy. Anyway, let me stay on focus here. I folded it and I'm gonna press tight, and we want that color to cook evenly on both sides. So pressing it nice and tight ensures even cooking, but you don't want to make it too tight, because we want that space. You see right there, it's like a 1/2 inch space. Now when you're pressing it in the pan, your filling will expand, but we want that space to compensate for that. And we're ready to fry. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Yo. I heated up my pan this time. I remembered, see? Now, I'm gonna add my oil. Wait till it's hot, and when it's really hot, add your Yup. Look at that oil dancing. That oil's dancing, baby. And this is the time where we want the oil to be hot. The worst thing we can do right now is put this in a cold oil or a cold pan. It's gonna get soggy. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be all mushy, and we want this to get crispy. We want this to be firm, crispy, delicious, flavorful. Now you see that, yes, right there, your filling is gonna expand as soon as you put this in, because the heat, it's alive. That's why we wanted that space. If you didn't put that space, your filling would have exploded out, and then it's gonna burn because that heat is high. So we want to cook that tortilla quick, keep that filling contained. You see, that's looking good. And I'm scraping the bottom because we want this to be out. You see how it's moving, it's dancing. Boom. Yep. Come on, yo. Come on. Oh man. See, this is what a high heat does. It cooks it quick. Oh man, yo. Man. This is looking perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Oh man. But don't burn your mouth now. You gotta let it cool first, but finish it with salt. It's gonna make it even crispier. But again, preference. It's already crispy. It's already. Matter of fact, look. Let's get a zoom in. Oh, come on, yo. Bet. I'm ready to eat. Let's do this. Paper plate it if you want, but gotta be a little fancy because, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't really like to do the dishes, but for this one, I gotta keep it fancy because, oh man, I think it's worth it. Matter of fact, let me just get that little, yo, even the tomatoes fire. Come on, yo. Come on. Everybody, hope you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe. Let's get it.